what's going on, Coach Cruisers out there? All 8 of you, because that's already one more than I thought would be live with me today and Zoe here. So thanks for joining. And for all of you that are going to be watching this on replay, I appreciate the view. And we're just going to have some fun tonight because I realized I'm going to be traveling tomorrow, not for a cruise, not to be on my way to some tropical journey or anything like that, but to go visit family. And I realized that by the time I got there probably wouldn't be enough time for me to set up, and it would be an awkward environment, without the studio, without anything to do a show. So I'm like, you know what? I'm probably not going to have a show tomorrow. I didn't say I wasn't going to have a show. So we're going to try to do a show last minute on a Monday. And wow, look at that. There are actually 14 of you, which is 7 more than I thought would be here already. So this is awesome. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in. And if you haven't already posted in the comments, post in the comments for me. We got Zoe here for you. And we're going to, I had a little theme for this show, and I'm going to give you a couple options. And I'm going to ask you to tell me what you'll keep and tell me what you'll re-gift, because 'tis the season to, get gifts and re-gift them later on for the gifts that you don't care for as much, right? So that's what we're going to do. We got Cruising Chris Moss on the horizon. I knew that from his Facebook post. Plus, he was a guest on here just the last week. And then he did a super chat. And here's the thing about the super chats today. And I'm going to write Cruising Chris Moss because I see he is the first one. Super chats are going to double. All right. So once we reach 150, we give away a cooler bag, or we give away a shirt of your choice and 50 entries into the next drawing. That's of 150 as well. So Cruising Chris Moss is numbers 1 through 30 because of the Christmas spirit and everything. We're giving double today. So any super chat will count as double. So he did a $15 super chat, which I'll get to in just a second. And it's going to be worth 30. So, thank you for that in advance, Cruising Chris Moss. But I want to say hello to everybody who checked in, because like I said, I literally created the link to this show like 10 minutes or so before the show actually started. So it's amazing that 20 of you are here already. I can't even believe it. And I'm just whatever the expression is, I'm shocked, whatever. So thank you all for jumping in. We got Seg here with the gold medal. We have some new gold medal. We have some new podium people here today, maybe because it was last second, but Seg, I think, has his first gold medal. Bridget, my girlfriend, got the silver. And let's see who else here. Who is next on the list? Cruising Chris Moss. He is not unfamiliar to the podium. He has the bronze. Not only does he have the bronze, but he's cruising as well. So Cruising Chris Moss is an accurate statement because he is on the Carnival Horizon. Still my favorite ship, I believe, overall. So I hope you are having a great time, Cruising Chris Moss. And he already did a super chat. We got Sean Abel, just missed the podium, says Merry Christmas, everyone who's cruising over Christmas or New Year's Eve. I'm one of those people. So thank you. Thank you for that, Sean. Let's see who else is here. We got Mark R. Booze. And I know he's been cruising MSC a lot lately. He is saying Merry Christmas to everybody. We got Rick Wade, the Texas cruiser, saying Merry Christmas to everybody. And here is that super chat I was referring to. Cruising Chris Moss, Merry Christmas from the Carnival Horizon. Treat for Coach and Zoe. I'm going to say, and Cruising Chris Moss didn't get a chance at this, but I have so much over here in the little liquor establishment because of the Christmas. I have the Evan Williams eggnog. So this is spiked eggnog. I will do a shot of this, and anybody that does a super chat, of $15 or more. We have the Clark and Sheffield. Okay. We have Rick Wade's favorite, the Buffalo Trace. We have the Old Forester, another really good bourbon. And we have the single barrel Evan Williams. Okay. So if you opt to do a super chat, and remember, I'm going to give you double the credit towards the raffle. All super chats will double. So Cruising Chris Moss just doesn't have 1 through 15. He has 1 through 30 in the super chat drawing. And anybody, if you do a $5 super chat, it will be a $10 super chat in terms of the drawing. Okay, so that's what we have there. Since Cruising Chris Moss didn't say it and it's Christmas, we'll go ahead and go with the eggnog here. Plus, I've been drinking a little bit. The eggnog is, what is this one? Okay, it's like 50 proof or something. So it's a little gentler than some of the bourbons there. So we'll start out gentle since I've been drinking a little bit already, if you couldn't tell. All right, there we go. That's good. That's good. Evan Williams eggnog. Highly recommend. It's probably not too expensive either. Okay, let's see. We got 64 Kenny P in the house. We got Kimberly Lavelle. Welcome, welcome. Klesko 71 did not get his regular gold medal. It's because I surprised Klesko and I did a random pop-up live. Otherwise, I think Klesko probably would have got the gold again. We got Tammy Shore here saying Merry Christmas to everybody. The casual cruisers. We love cruise talk. So we'll get into that. We got some new people here today, which is awesome. Joe, Joelle, and Jen from Iowa. Okay, next door neighbor to me. I'm here in Chicago, so welcome. And I think you all are new. So, thank you for watching the show. 64 Kenny P once again boarding the Vista on Saturday for New Year's. I'll be boarding the Venezia. Originally, the Vista was supposed to be my New Year's Eve cruise. And I know that Vista itinerary is awesome, Kenny, because that's the one I had chosen originally. I just got a better offer to go on the Venezia. That's the only reason I changed. So you're going to have a great cruise there. So congrats on that. We got Jason here. Says, hello, coach. It's been a long time since I've caught a live show. Well, you know what? I'm glad I went on Monday. If coming on Monday is what we had to do to make you get back on the show, then we're glad we did that. And we got one of our members here. Well, we got a few members here, but the first one I've acknowledged anyway. We got JB in the house. He's saying Merry Christmas to everyone. And then we have James Hawkins saying hello to everybody. So what's going on? And James has a question. What area of Chicago are you from? I'm originally from Downers Grove. James, so good question. And the reason I like this question is, when you meet people traveling, and many of you are probably accustomed to this, no matter what city you're from. But if you're from a smaller town, it's understandable that you say the closest big town that is near you so people can kind of recognize the area. Because if you say, oh, well, I'm from Sunnymead, California, they're like, where the hell's that? But if you say I'm from Los Angeles, they're like, oh, okay, you get it. So when I'm out and about, I'll tell people I'm from Chicago, and then people understand, like, yeah, are you from Chicago? Or are you really from Chicago? No, I'm actually really from Chicago. I'm so much from Chicago that I am within walking distance to Wrigley Field, the home of the Chicago Cubs. It's about a 2-mile walk, but I'm within walking distance. So I forgot to give Zoe her treat for Cruising Chris Moss. So we're going to do that right now. Not only if you do a $15 super chat, do you get a treat for me, you get a treat for Zoe, which you see she's very excited about. So high five for Cruising Chris Moss. What do you say? Oh, wow. Okay. There you go. Sorry. She was very interested in that treat there. So about 2 miles west of Wrigley Field, James. All right. So let's get on. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We got Cruising Chris Moss. I don't know. Cruising Chris Moss is on the horizon, as I mentioned. He just popped up on my screen backstage. I had sent him a link to join. He has started his cruise channel, but as you see his little circle is going around and around like this. So he's probably having a hard time getting online. So we will remove him for the moment, and hopefully he can, get his Wi-Fi reception. I know the struggles of joining and going live on cruise ships. So, but if he can go live, maybe we'll get a little live Vista action here. Okay, so the theme of the show that I wanted to do, the idea that I had about 20 minutes before the show, was to give you some cruise ideas, some cruise gifts, if you will. And which one, if I offered you these gifts of cruising, would you keep for yourself? Which one would you re-gift to somebody else? Okay, so let me start with a simple one. We're going to start with ice cream. Okay, the all you can eat ice cream cone, vanilla, the cones, the cups, whatever. So I'm going to give you the gift of that, or I'm going to give you the gift of any buffet sweets that you want. So unlimited ice cream cones and cups to keep and eat as much as you want of, or unlimited cakes and cookies and pies and whatever they put out in the buffet area there, sweet stuff. So which of those are you keeping? Are you keeping the ice cream, or are you keeping the baked goods? Which one is? Are you keeping the sweets and cakes and stuff, or are you keeping the ice cream? Which one are you going to keep? Which one are you going to re-gift? Because you can't keep them both. All right, JB says the buffet sweets. Bridget's going with the ice cream. Jason's going with the ice cream. Will's going with we got Will G in the house. Mark is doing ice cream as well. Texas Cruisers, ice cream is an overwhelming favorite so far. Cruising Chris Moss, I don't think the live will work for me tonight, Coach. Okay. Well, thanks for trying Cruising Chris Moss. We had you on the screen, but all you were was a little spinning circle. But thanks for trying anyway. Kimberly said ice cream. Seg says, ice cream. Ice cream, the first one, we started off with JB and buffet sweets. But after that, it was a clean sweep for ice cream. Speaking of JB did a $15 super chat, which means he did a $30 super chat because it's Christmas week. And so all super chats double. So he is numbers 31 through 60. Any super chat's going to double. So if you do a $1 super chat, it's going to be $2. $5 is $10. $10 is $20. You get the idea. So Cruising Chris Moss is numbers 1 through 30. JB is numbers 31 through 60. And JB, you are still here, and I don't think you're on a cruise ship, so your Wi-Fi is probably working just great. So I will say, which bourbon or eggnog do you want me to do a shot of? I got the Clark and Sheffield, the Evan Williams, the Old Forester, the Buffalo Trace, and the eggnog. Let me know which one, and I will do a shot of that. In the meantime, we will give Zoe her treat on behalf of JB. Big high five for JB. Big high five. What do you say? She says thank you, and I thank you. And I'll wait for you to tell me which shot you want me to take. And that's the shot I will do, JB, and I appreciate you. Thank you, my man. Buffalo Trace, JB says. So here we go. And you know what? I hope the Buffalo Trace, I hope I didn't mess it up, because I came in here after doing the show last week and the cap was off. I forgot to put the cap back on the Buffalo Trace. If you do that with a pop or something, it's really going to mess it up. I don't think it'll mess it up with bourbon quite as much, but it might mess it up a little bit. But we're about to find out. And this is looking like a creamy shot because I just did the eggnog. So it's not supposed to look like that, but that's what it's looking like. Here we go. Still pretty good, honestly. Leaving the cap off all week didn't hurt it too much. All right. Buffalo Trace. Okay. So we got the ice cream was being kept as a gift by most of you, and you're re-gifting the cakes and the confetti cake and the pies and the cookies and everything. You're re-gifting that. You're giving that away as a gift to somebody else. So that's cool. All right. So JB, because I know he's a casino player, we're going to go to this next one here. Now, I'm going to give you two gifts. You get to keep one. You have to re-gift the other one. So your first gift is $500 in casino free play. So for those of you that don't know what that means if you get free play from a casino, they will give you $500. So like if I go to the blackjack table and I bet a $100 chip of free play and I win, they will take back that free play chip if I win. And then they will give me $200 in real money. Okay. So, but if I lose, they just take the free play back and that's it. You know, you just lose that 100 free play. But if you win, they'll take the free play back and they'll give you, you know, the 100 with the free play plus the 100 that you win. I'm pretty sure that's the way it is. For sure, you get 100 back in real cash. Maybe they might leave the free play there. I forget how that works exactly. It's been a minute since I've gotten free play and played it on the table. But you get the general idea. So which one are you going to, I didn't tell you the second one. Okay. So you're getting 500 in cruise free play or this is no strings attached, $300 cash. So you get $500, you get an extra $200 in free play. But the thing about that is you have to gamble with it to hopefully win as much money or more than $300. Or I just give you $300 cash. You can put it in your pocket. You don't have to gamble with it. You don't have to do anything with it. So what are you going to keep? Are you going to keep the $500 in free play? Or are you going to take the $300 no strings attached cash? Which is it going to be? 500 free play or $300 cash? All right. So Kimberly Lavelle said $500 free play in the casino. She's going to make that $1,500. That's what she's going to do. Jason says the same thing. He's going to turn that 500 into 5,000. Will G says, yeah, no, I know casinos there to make money. I'm going to take my $300 free profit, and I'm just going to walk away $300 richer. Mark says the same thing. Give me my 300. James says the same thing. Give me my 300. JB says keep 500 in free play because he's a gambler. So I guessed he would say that 500. Casual Cruiser says I'm going to spend more than 300 anyway, so I'm taking the 500. There you go. So I mean, yeah. If you know you're going to go in the casino, you might as well take the 500, right? So the people that are saying 300 are probably the people that aren't really big casino players. They want that real money. They're probably the smarter of all of us, honestly. Us casino players can probably agree with that too, if we've lost enough money in the casinos. So Tammy says she's taking the $300 as well. Okay, so that one, people are taking the real cash a little bit more than the $500, which, you know what? It's good to see that we have some smart people in society out there taking the sure thing and not gambling, and risking their money. So, although I do like to gamble, and if you're smart about it, which I'm not always smart about it, that's the bad thing. It can be a lot of fun. And then Jason says, turn the $500 into a free cruise, which the good thing is about some of us gamblers is we have turned that $500 into a free cruise and sometimes more than a free cruise. So there we go. Casual Cruisers, what would I do? I'm like the rest of the gamblers here. I would take the $500 in free play because I know I'm going to spend at least $500 in money in the cruise. Every cruise, probably at some point, I'm going to wager at least $500. So knowing that I'm going to wager that anyway, I'll take the extra $200. And then hopefully, like as a couple people pointed out, hopefully, you do well enough with that, you turn it into something, you make more money out of it. And, It's possible. It's been done before. I've actually done it once or twice. Usually I lose, but occasionally I win. So there we go. All right. Here's another question for you. This one is not money related. This one is time related and amenity related. I like this question. I'm curious to see what you say. I think it's going to be the latter. The latter is, I'll say right now, the latter is what I would pick and what I'm about to give you. Texas Cruiser says definitely the 500 free play. Okay, here is the next gift and regift. Pick one of these to keep, one of these to regift. Which one of these are you going to keep? I'm going to give you a cruise. If I had the money, I would give you a cruise. And if I had the money and I gave you a cruise, I would give you a balcony 6-day cruise. So you get a 6-day cruise and the balcony, a balcony cabin. Or would you keep that balcony for 6 days, or would you take rather an 8-day cruise in an ocean view cabin? So you get 2 extra days in the ocean view, or you can have a 6-day balcony. So 6-day balcony or 8-day ocean view. Which one are you keeping? Which one are you re-gifting? Put that in the comments. All right. Will G says 8 days. Casual Cruiser says 8 days all day long. Jason, 8 days. 8 days. I'm never in the room. Mark Arbuz says 8 days. We haven't had a 6-day yet. We don't have any balcony lovers yet. Kimberly says 8 days for sure. James, 8 days. Tammy doesn't even want the ocean view. Tammy doesn't even want the ocean view. She says, give me 8 days in an interior. You don't even need to give me an ocean view. I'll take 8 days in an interior. Not one. Oh, wait, we got one. We got JB. Texas Cruiser said 8 days. Aaron and Tammy said 8 days. JB says, keep the 6-day balcony. Once you go balcony, it's hard to go back. Yeah, I mean, the balcony can be pretty cool. I'll tell you where the balcony is amazing is if you're going somewhere like Alaska. That's where I want a balcony. But an ocean view can be pretty good too. Cruising Chris Moss says, I want an 8-day. Wife wants the balcony. Oh, okay. So Cruising Chris Moss would take the 8-day. The wife would take 6 days on the balcony. Casual Cruiser says, I sleep so much better in an interior. Yeah, the interiors are very dark, so you can sleep. And I wanted to give a shout out to Yankee Down South Adventures because apparently the Yankee Downs are going on the Carnival Venezia on Sunday. So they will see me on Sunday. So Yankee Down South Adventures, I don't know your real name, but yes, remind me when you see me on the ship. Hey, I'm Yankee Down South Adventures, and we'll chat a bit. So we will see you on the ship on Sunday on the Carnival Venezia. All right. Okay, so let's get that comment out of the way. All right, so the next one I have for you. Okay. Now, for you drinkers, I'm pretty sure you're going to answer the first one. You're going to keep the first one. But maybe if you're not a big drinker, I could entice you to keep the second one. Here is the next one here. All right, we have the Cheers package. I'm going to give you the Cheers package for a gift. You're welcome. I'm happy to do it if I could. So I'm going to give you the Cheers package. For those of you who don't know what the Cheers package is, it's the drink package on whatever cruise line that you go on. On Carnival, it's the Cheers package. But whatever the drink package is. And I know some of the drink packages, they have higher upscale, whatever. Cheers is pretty much, for the most part, you can get some higher end liqueurs and stuff. Not the tippity top high end, but for the most part, it's pretty good. So up there as far as drink packages and stuff go. All right, so that is your first gift. All right, so your second gift though is specialty dining, and we're talking about any type of specialty dining that you want. You get a chef's table, you get steakhouse, you get bonsai teppanyaki, you get whatever specialty dining that they can offer you. You get to do that on a everyday basis. You can choose what specialty dining should we go to tonight. Oh, you know what? We did the chef's table last night, so how about we do the steakhouse tonight? Okay, you get specialty dining, and I'm going to throw in a free excursion of your choice. A free excursion of your choice in one of your ports that you'll be visiting on your cruise. So you can get the drink package, the Cheers package, free every day. Your drinks are covered for you and your companion. Or you can have specialty dining every day, your choice of specialty dining, and one free excursion for each of you in the port of your choice. Which is it going to be? Okay. Jason didn't even hear the second one. He just said drink package. I don't need to hear the second one. Mark says cheers. Tammy says cheers. I really tried to sell that second one, and all of you are picking cheers, you drunks. Okay. As I'm drinking and doing shots for super chats. Kimberly Lavelle says, yes, the drink package for sure. Seg says, cheers. Oh, wait, here we go. We got somebody that's not an alcoholic. Roderick Hawkins says specialty dining. There you go. JB is cheers. Kimberly, still cheers for two, despite my sales job. Aaron and Tammy, not even a question. Cheers package, a must. And you know what? I mean, that's the one that I would choose too, but I was really, really trying to sell the second one, and nobody except for James, I'm sorry, Roderick, except for Roderick. And James too. Dining, not a big drinker, plus the excursion. Okay, there we go. So we got James and Roderick. Will, however, is going with the Cheers package. The Texas Cruiser says drink package. That was a hard one. Well, good. Thank you for including that, Rick, that it was at least a hard one for you, because I really tried to sell that second one to everybody. Joel and Jen from Iowa are going with the Cheers package. JB is going with the drinks, and the Casual Cruisers says cheers. Well, cheers, everybody. I'm going to take a drink because I'm just a little bit parched. By the way, I see that 23 of you are viewing. That is like 18 more than I expected. No, it's like 16 more than I expected to have, because I scheduled this live seriously like 10 minutes before I actually went live. So I'm really, really happy that many of you are showing up. But if you could hit that like button since you're here, I'd appreciate it. And if any of you are not already subscribed to Coach Cruise, I would appreciate that too. Cheers. Now, I've only done 2 shots today. So if I seem a little bit more than like I've done 2 shots, it's because a work colleague of mine invited me out for an annual thing that we do, in which we do cigars and we drink bourbon and other liqueurs with some snacks and things like that at a cigar bar. So yeah, that's where I was. And I said, you know what? I got to go, because I realized I need to go live, because I'm probably not going to be able to go live tomorrow on my normally scheduled time. So yeah, I'm already a few in, but it's okay. It's okay. All right. Oh, okay. We got Joel and Jen from Iowa. Where in Iowa? Well, yeah, where in Iowa are you from? Are you a Hawkeye fan? Do I mostly sail out of Florida, the Casual Cruisers? I would say yes, most of the time. Florida is the cruising capital of the world, but I've also sailed out of New York. I've sailed out of Norfolk. I've sailed out of Galveston plenty of times. I will be sailing out of Long Beach. I've just booked the Carnival Panorama just a few days ago for this summer. And what else? Seattle. When I do Alaska, I've also cruised out of Vancouver. So I've cruised out of a lot of different ports, but I would say Florida for sure is the number one that I cruise out of the most. Usually Miami, if I had to pick a port, but sometimes Port Canaveral. The next couple, I just cruised out of Tampa as well. But the next one is going to be Port Canaveral, Carnival Venezia, just what is it, Sunday? And then the Mardi Gras for spring break in the latter part of March will be also out of Port Canaveral. And then I'll be the Horizon for a couple cruises in June, and that will be out of Miami. So yes, Florida for sure is definitely the primary port. Okay. Aaron and Tammy are in training for the cruise. That's good. I'm in training too. I dropped my cup. Seriously, today. The part that you sip out of right here, you probably can't see, but it broke. I'm so disappointed. This cup, I got all these. We got Rick the Texas Cruiser on here. We got Sandy the Lost Pirate. We got Controversial Cruising. We got Cruise Life TV. We got Cruising Chris Moss. We got Carnival Cruise Addicts. We got the North Shore Travelers. We got Adventures with Uncle Dave on here. We got all these stickers, and my damn lid broke. So highly disappointed in that on my Yeti cup. I got to get a new lid because it's making the sipping like drip. So it's annoying. Let's see here. Warm Strong Adventures. We got Bill in the house. He said, did I hear cigars and bourbon? Yes, you did, my friend. I did cigars and bourbon. And you know what? That's the thing. And as I was smoking my cigar, I got a big cigar. That's what she said. But yeah. And anyway, I don't smoke cigars a lot. Very infrequently. I'm not opposed to cigars anyway. I like them very much, but I don't smoke them very often. So when I combine that with drinking, it like intensifies my high. Like I get, that buzz or whatever way quicker, and it stays with me longer. So that's why I probably seem like I've done 8 shots instead of 2 that I have from Cruising Chris Moss and JB, by the way. Look at that. Speaking of Cruising Chris Moss, he just arrived at the Pig and Anchor. So what should we tell him to drink? I think we should tell him to drink. You know what? Cruising Chris Moss is a content creator, so we can get him to drink something, and we can put peer pressure on him right now. So put in your drink orders for what you want Cruising Chris Moss to order, since he's at the Pig and Anchor, and that is a bourbon bar. So what should we have him drink? I mean, they got the smoked thing. They got like a smoked bacon thing, where they smoked bacon Manhattan or something like that. Something like that. I want you, whatever that thing is that they do smoked Cruising Chris Moss, I want you to get that. Get that on the show, and then post in the comments if you got it. Or if you already ordered, post what you ordered so we can grade your drink selection. All right. So Cedar Rapids. Cedar Rapids is where Joel and Jen are from in Iowa. I've heard of Cedar Rapids. That's a pretty common place. Jason is from Carter Lake, Iowa, basically Omaha, Nebraska. What are your ports? Well, that's my next question, actually, Will G. And I'm glad you asked that. Ben is up the road in Milwaukee. He's saying Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Ben, as well. Let's see. James, Norfolk in February, Galveston in April, and Boston in September. Will, my ports, I don't know if you're asking me or somebody in the comments, but the ports for the Venezia cruise are Celebration Key, Roatan, Honduras, and Cozumel, Mexico. So, and it's a 7-day cruise. So those are the 3 ports. I'm pretty happy with those ports. So yeah. All right, JB has got to go. He's saying Merry Christmas and enjoy my cruise. Thank you so much for that, JB. And thank you for the super chat. If we do a drawing today, of course, you don't have to be present to win. And we will definitely let you know if you did. Speaking of, Cruising Chris Moss won a cooler, and Admin Tim won a cooler as well. Admin Tim doesn't even know about this live, so he's probably like going to be surprised that I even did this. But he won a cooler as well. So I have those going out to them. I seriously, after I did the cigar thing, I tried to stop at the post office. It was at like 5:19 at my time, if you're on the East Coast, and the place was closed. I thought they were open until 5:30, but apparently not. At least not the post office I went to. Jason says the Bloody Mary and Pig and Anchor is delicious, and absolutely it is. Will G says Eagle Rare neat. Yes. And if you can find Eagle Rare, if, and I say that 3 times because it is super hard to find Eagle Rare anymore, but you used to be able to find it, and it used to be like a $20 to $30 bottle. You can't find it anymore. And if you can find it, a lot of these liquor stores like upsell it so much because they know it's hard to find. So you can't even get it for like $20, $30 anymore. They charge you way more for it. But yeah, Eagle Rare, but you can get it and Pig and Anchor, and it doesn't cost you any extra in the Cheers package. So that is a great recommendation, Will G. Kimberly Lavelle says, order a shot of Buffalo Trace and listen to the awesome band. Have fun and more fun. I agree with all of that. Will G says, we'll be passing you on the dream. All right, Will G. Well, I will wave at you. Wave back. All right, so we got Joelle and Jen from Iowa sipping on Cedar Ridge Double Barrel. Ooh, I'll have to try some of that. Will G says, I have 4 bottles, goes for around $57 here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that price of Eagle Rare just doubled, because it used to be like when that came out, you could get it for under $30 a bottle. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all, but it is a really good bourbon. So it is what it is, right? Okay. All right. So Will G asked me about ports. And before I get to ports, because we do have new people here, this is the cooler bag that I am giving away to our super chat winners. And yes, it is a large cooler bag, if you can't tell, and it's thick. It's not cheap little flimsy material, but pretty good insulation. I have friends of mine that I've given these to, or that family members, whatever, and they use them for groceries. Or I use mine oftentimes for like a little weekend trip. You can throw a 12-pack in there, put a little ice, put some sandwiches, whatever, and it's perfect. It's perfect for something like that. Or like I said, a lot of people like to do it. If they go grocery shopping, they can put their cold or hot items in there to keep them warm or keep them cold, whichever it may be. So they come in real handy as like a short little day trip cooler, or as for groceries or such. And somebody even said to me recently that they would make an exceptional like diaper bag. So for those people out there that might know somebody that could use a really good diaper bag, I guess because they're large and it's easy to carry and holds a lot, you could do that. Cruising Chris Moss, what's the name of the smoky drink I should get? I think Cruising Chris Moss, it's like a smoked bacon Manhattan or something like that. But it's smoke infused. It's on the menu. It's not something I'm making up, but they actually, put smoke and stuff in there. So yeah. All right. So yeah, as far as that drinks go. And then for those people, well, I got to reach up here. This office is so small that I can do that. All right. And then if you don't want a cooler, or if you're somebody who's already won a cooler and you would like to choose a shirt instead, we have the Coach Cruise shirts. All right. And on the back there, it says, Coach Cruz, I just can't get away from a good time. And I can't. I don't know about you, but I can't get away from a good time. So that was a triple X that I showed you, by the way. Yeah. So if you do a super chat today, we're doubling your odds of winning. Cruising Chris Moss did one. He does $15 super chat, became a $30 super chat, and JB did one. His same thing. His became a $30 super chat. So we're all the way up to 60 already from Chris and JB. And if you did a $5 super chat, it'd be a $10 super chat. And a $10 super chat or more gets a treat for Zoe, a $15 super chat. I do a shot in your honor, and Zoe gets a treat as well. All right, let's go on to the next gift or regift. Okay, so we have an itinerary for you. This first itinerary is Cozumel, which I'm going to, Roatan, which I'm going to, and Grand Turk. Grand Turk, Roatan, and Cozumel. Those are your first 3 ports. You can keep that gift itinerary, or you can regift it. This is how you'll decide. Your next itinerary, your next gift, if you will, you can choose to keep or regift, is Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, the ABCs. So are you keeping Cozumel, Roatan, and Grand Turk, or are you keeping Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao? Which one are you keeping? Which one are you regifting? Okay. Jason says the ABCs. He's keeping the Aruba. Tammy says keep. What are you keeping, Tammy? You didn't mention what you were keeping. We got to know. Will is keeping the ABCs. Seg is going with the Grand Turk itinerary option. So I think we are 2-1 in favor of the ABCs currently. Let's see what everybody else has to say. Tammy is okay. So we're 2-2. All right. We are 2-2 in itineraries. Let's get a few more. Okay, we got James. He says ABCs because they have James has never been. Well, that makes sense. So it's 3-2 in favor of ABCs. And Joel, and Jen from Iowa are doing the Grand Turk. So it's 3-3. And Texas Cruiser, Rick made it broke the tie, and it's 4-3, I believe, in favor of ABCs. Tammy says ABC are great also, but they had picked Cozumel. So still 4-3. Do we have anybody else? Kimberly is saying ABC. So that makes it 5-3 in favor of ABCs of people voting, even though we got 21 people online. If you just jumped in, I think a few people just jumped in. The question was, if I were to give you a gift or a choice of itineraries, the first itinerary is Cozumel, Roatan, and Grand Turk, or the second itinerary is the ABCs, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Which itinerary are you going to keep? Which one would you rather go to? Cozumel, Roatan, Grand Turk, or Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao? Which one are you going to? And right now, ABCs has a slim 2-vote lead. Anybody else going to vote? Okay, well, I think the ABCs are going to win it. That is the Southern Caribbean. And yeah, that is a great choice. Okay. Now, this one is not going to apply to maybe everybody, but maybe you've heard enough about each of these people that you can give an opinion or you can give a vote. All right. I'm going to give you as a gift your choice of cruise directors. I'm going to give you 3, actually. All right. And two of these are not even current cruise directors. So, a couple of these are like legends, so to speak. All right. So your choices of gifts. This is a three-part gift. You can keep one of these gifts. Two of these you have to re-gift to another cruiser. You can have as your cruise director Kindle Fire, or you can have as your cruise director Cookie, or you can have as your cruise director Lee Mason. Now, if you're never heard about any of these, then this question doesn't apply to you. But for those of you that have heard about these people or cruised with them, you can give an opinion which gift you would most like to have if you were going on a cruise and you got your choice of cruise directors. Which would it be? Kindle Fire, Cookie, or Lee Mason? Those are my three favorites, and that is why I asked the question. All right. Tammy says Lee. Any other opinions, or are you thinking so hard about it? James Hawkins says Kindle Fire. All right. So we have one for Lee, one for Kindle Fire. We got two for Lee. And we got a Cookie in the house. I like to see Cookie still getting love. Joelle and Jen from Iowa, first cruise in February on the Vista, so no clue. Well, it's funny you mentioned Vista because I know Cookie and for sure, Kindle Fire worked on but they were great cruise directors, so thanks for that comment either way. Jason says, I've not been fortunate enough to have any of the three, but I would say Kindle Fire. She's beautiful. You know what? She is, and she's got a great personality, and she's amazing as a cruise director. So you would be very happy. Look at that. We got Angie in the house. She's watching on Facebook. She's baking, and this is her money season because everybody wants those Christmas cookies and everything else like that. Angie, as I've mentioned many times before, is one of these baking bosses. So she just throws down. If you live in Ohio, that's the only way you're going to get to have any of her cookies because she does not ship because it's just crazy what they charge to ship, and it would just be too much or whatever. But yeah, if you live in Ohio, anybody that lives in Ohio out there, look Angie up. And she's like one of these people, like if you see those cookies on magazines and TV shows and stuff like that, they're all designed and look insanely like cool and stuff. That's how her cookies look. So yeah. So welcome, Angie. Thanks for chiming in there. Kimberly says Kindle Fire. And the Texas Cruiser says, I have to stay with the Texas girl. You do have to stay with the Texas girl. I mean, you're the Texas Cruiser. I mean, I feel like, some people would want to kick you out of Texas if you didn't go with the Texas girl. So, yeah. So I don't blame you for that, Rick. Good choice. Smart choice. Wise choice on your part to pick the Texas girl, which is Kindle Fire. And she just posted, for those of you, she's very good in social media, very good. She posts so much in social media, but I did just see a post of hers today. Joey, who she just married, his mom and dad flew in to Texas for the first time, and there was a picture of them together. She did like a little selfie shot with the four of them. And so she's coming. They're coming to Texas from over the pond, and to live life in America for a week or two. So that should be fun. All right, we got Kimberly. What's Kimberly say? This one was a super hard decision with Cookie and Lee too. Yeah, and again, I would say all time, those are probably my top three. And no, I'm not going to give you an order right now. But in some order, those are my top three. All three of those have been amazing. I I mean, Lee and Cookie obviously have been guests on my show live here. For those of you that have been following the channel for a long time, you already know that they've come on the show repeatedly, and talked with us, and commented with all of you. So yeah, it's they're both great. Kendall, I haven't had the opportunity to, but when I have cruised with Kendall, she's been extremely gracious and spent a lot of time off to the side talking with me and things like that about the show and questions and stuff like that. So look forward to getting the opportunity with Kendall. Obviously, she's very busy with just getting married and stuff like that. So we'll give her some grace. We'll give her some space, right? All right. So what's coming up next? We got about 9 minutes left here, but I want to tell you, I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier. So normally my show is on Tuesday, as most of you know. Cruising Chris Moss. I have the Bacon Manhattan, not my favorite. I think that's probably it. And Cruising Chris Moss, you know what? I agree with you, and I'm sorry that that's not your favorite. I've had it too, and I you kind of, it's cool though, right? Because it's smoked and all that other stuff, and you got it's one of those drinks where they put the lid over it and there's smoke in there, and it looks really cool. It just doesn't taste as cool as it looks. So yeah. James says she's on the Jubilee in Galveston now. Yeah, she was the inaugural cruise director for the Jubilee, and she still is on the Carnival Jubilee. So yes, for those of you that have never cruised with Kendall Fire, that's where you'll find her, if you'll find her on a ship. So I will be going on the Carnival Venezia. Speaking of cruise directors, Mike Diaria, who was an understudy of Lee Mason, while he was on the Carnival Celebration, he will be my cruise director for that. And he's really good. And as a matter of fact, I did an interview with him already. And I might interview him on this particular cruise as well. So that is coming up. Somebody asked earlier, but I'll say it again. The ports that we'll be visiting on the Carnival Venezia are Celebration Key. So we have the first cruise day, and then day 2, boom, we're already in port. We are doing Celebration Key. And then we have a sea day, and then we are going to end up in Roatan on December 30. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry. So December 30th is a sea day. The 29th will be in Celebration Key. The 30th will be a sea day. The 31st, December 31st, New Year's Eve, we will be in Cozumel, Mexico. Okay, so that's going to be insane, right? Cozumel is dangerous for anybody. You all have seen those little rickshaws. For those of you that have been to Cozumel, you've seen those rickshaws and people on those rickshaws being driven back, and they're basically like dumped off like a wheelbarrow. Like they just flop them on the ground because they're so drunk or whatever that they can barely get back in the ship. Okay, so keep in mind, we're going to Cozumel on New Year's Eve. All right, we're talking about Mr. Sancho's, Paradise Beach, all the all-inclusives, all the margaritas, all the things, right? Before you even get back on the ship. And then it's New Year's Eve, and you have New Year's Eve dinner and pictures, and then the New Year's Eve to bring in the New Year's and everything else. Oh my God, it could be insanely dangerous and insanely sloppy and insanely drunk on New Year's Eve on the Carnival of Venezia, because we start the day in the morning in Cozumel in the afternoon, and then it's New Year's Eve. So danger, Will Robinson. New Year's Eve, Carnival Venezia could be a little bit of danger. All right. So, and then after Cozumel and New Year's Eve and drinking all day and all night, then wake up and you're in Roatan, Honduras, right? And then after Roatan, then it's a sea day. You sleep in until like 8 p.m. or something. And then, then it's going to be getting time to pack and all that good stuff. So yeah. Tammy says, oh Lord, talk about pier runners. Yes, pier runners and big time. Absolutely. Angie just got off the Vista with Mark Q, but he was on but we were on Horizon with Tyler. He was fantastic. Yes. Mark Q and Tyler, both of them really, really good cruise directors. Mark Q, I've interviewed multiple times. Excellent cruise director. I will be with him again. When will I be with him? Let's see. He's going on the Horizon. I believe Mark Q is switching to the Horizon this summer. So I think I'll be with Mark Q this summer on the Horizon. Yeah. And Tyler I've had. He's very good as well. As Angie says, he is fantastic. Seg, sorry I have to go. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Seg, thank you for that. Says Coach, great show as always. Appreciate that. Tammy, again, talking about the pier runners. Cozumel, New Year's Eve, just danger. Will G, we're at Half Moon Cay New Year's Eve. That seems a lot more tame. That seems a lot more laid back, a lot more less trouble potentially. James Hawkins says drunk fest, exclamation points. Aaron and Tammy, don't forget the bar crawl on the 30th. Yes. So as Aaron Tammy just pointed out, bar crawl December 30th. So we have Celebration Key, which will be fun. Then the next day we're doing the bar crawl. And then we have Cozumel on New Year's Eve. Currently I have set up for that we're going to hit. Well, no, not currently. This is going to happen. We're doing El Cielo. And I did that on purpose. So I didn't want to do Sancho's or Paradise Beach because I knew I'd drink too much and just be way too wasted. So we're doing El Cielo, which is this beautiful sandbar. So you hit a couple snorkeling spots, and then there's this beautiful sandbar what they call El Cielo, and it's like waist deep water. You got stingrays swimming around. The water is crystal clear blue, and then the boat just basically parks, and that's a party for an hour and a half or two. And you're drinking margaritas and eating ceviche with tortilla chips and fresh made guacamole and everything else like that. It's just amazing. I love it every time I go. And every time I go, usually like I talk to people like yourselves and say, look, you got to try this out. I mean, if you've done Mr. Sancho's over and over again, if you've done Paradise Beach over and over again, you know what that's all about. And it's amazing. It's great every time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to put either of those places or any of those places, any all-inclusive down. But, you once in a while, you want to change it up. You want to see something different. You see something culturally beautiful to that area, and that is El Cielo. So probably won't drink as much El Cielo, but definitely once we get to El Cielo, going to be doing some drinking, going to be doing some ceviche and guacamole with chips and all that good stuff. Yeah. So, and actually I have an excursion booked privately that's open to some of the people on my cruise ship. So if anybody's watching this and you want to join that excursion, let me know. It's only $50 per person. That's like a crazy, insane deal. Ben says, Coach, Shanster Travels says, hi, everyone. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Shanster Travels is first time I've noticed you. So thank you. Thank you for joining, and thank you for your comment. Ben says, Coach, should you bring your friend on the show? It would be interesting to hear the perspective from a newer cruiser. Ben, I think you're suggesting my friend that is my girlfriend, Bridget, who has been on a video. She was on, and actually I did ask her some new cruiser type questions when we were in Grand Cayman. She's watching the show right now. So Bridget, how about you put in the comments, say hi to everybody, and say what you liked about being a new cruiser. And then maybe she could answer some of your questions right here. Her perspective. Yeah. So yeah, Bridget, if you could share some of your thoughts as a new cruiser in the comments if you're still watching. She said she'd be watching. She was earlier, at least. Texas Cruiser says, I hope Kendall is on the Jubilee in a couple of weeks. Looking forward to that sailing. Yeah, I was on the Jubilee last March and I missed her by like a week or two. Sucked. I definitely wanted, but Louis Claire was my cruise director then, and he was amazing as well. So that was super cool. Cruising Chris Moss, Kimberly, having a fabulous time, as you should. Texas Cruiser Rick Wade and Cozumel go ashore, buy some tequila, eat at a restaurant, then get back on the ship. We sail mainly for the ships now. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people do that, and I just seriously, there's like literally a piece of plastic between my fingers. This is when I dropped my cup coming home from the cigar bar where I was drinking, and it fell on the concrete, and I just about drank a chunk of plastic, but I didn't, so all is well. Bridget chimed in. She says, hi, happy holidays. So random, but I loved how hot the showers got so fast. So that is a first-time cruiser response. That was nothing about the ports or the ship other than the showers got hot really fast. So, it's definitely a good thing. So yeah, Bridget was happy with that. Cruising Chris Moss says, going for the Eagle River Neat. There we go. Good choice there. You will not be disappointed with that. Also, at Pig and Anchor, they have Blanton's. So if you want to do some Blanton's there, you can do some Blanton's. But Eagle Rare, Blanton's, the Steakhouse has those bourbons as well. You have your upscale bourbons, and I like the Steakhouse too because you get the watermelon martinis with the muddled watermelon. So that would be a good recommendation, Cruising Chris Moss, because you don't have to have a reservation at the Steakhouse to go to the Steakhouse bar. You can just go to the Steakhouse bar and say, hey, let me get a couple watermelon martinis. Watermelon martinis are amazing. If you haven't had them, go try a watermelon martini. And you know what? They'll even make you a watermelon martini. Ask them if they have a watermelon martini at the Pig and Anchor. No, not ask them, because they do. But ask them if they have fresh watermelon so they can make you a real watermelon martini. And you want to do it the normal way, not the mezcal way. I'm not a big fan of the mezcal, but yeah. So Ben says, hello, Bridget. What's your favorite specialty restaurant? Well, Ben, I can tell you, we only went to one. That was the Steakhouse, because we were on the Carnival Miracle, and the only specialty restaurant they have was the Steakhouse. But I can answer this question for Bridget because she said it in my videos that she thought the Steakhouse was just amazing, and she loved it very much. We actually went twice. So yeah, that will answer your question there. Barb Donnelly, Hottie. Barb Donnelly, Hottie. That sounds good too, right? How do we get info on the bar crawl on the Venezia? Barb, well, I mean, you get it right now. I can tell you it's on day 3. We are doing the bar crawl. So you have cruise day, then we are Carnival Celebration Key. I'm sorry. And then we're at Celebration Key, and then day 3 is the bar crawl. So we are going to meet in the Atrium Bar lobby. Start meeting about 12:45. By 1 o'clock, we'll really get rolling, and we'll start crawling from bar to bar. But yeah, that's what we'll do there. And then yeah, we're going to hit about 7 bars in the course of about 3 hours. And it's going to be crazy fun. And anybody that hasn't been on one of my bar crawls is always like, damn, I got to get on one of your bar crawls. They all look so fun. So, Barb, it sounds like you're going to be on the ship on the Carnival Venezia. So, yeah, join the bar crawl so you can see how much fun they really are. All right. And if you're Barb, and you can put in the comments, you have the Cheers package, because if you don't have the Cheers package, unfortunately, the drinks are not included. So you'll have to pay for each drink that you want to get along the way. But if you do have the Cheers package, you know you're already covered up to 15 drinks, so it's not an issue for you. Cruising Chris Moss says, doing the Eagle Rare, it's awesome. Yeah, as we know it is. All right, everybody, we are 5 minutes over time. If nobody has any pressing questions, I guess we will call that a show. Controversial Cruising's in the house. He says, Coach, happy holidays. And happy holidays to everybody. Barb says, have the package. See you there. And Barb, if you haven't got a shirt yet, you can message me and we can see. I honestly, I sold out a size large. I have one extra large left. All I have in sizes are, I have smalls, I have mediums, I have 2XL, and I have 1XL left. I don't know if any of those sizes work for you, but if you want to get a shirt for the bar crawl, let me know. We got James saying Merry Christmas to everybody. And yeah, that's it, everybody. So thanks for joining. I know this was a last minute live show, and I did this because, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go live tomorrow. And thank you to Cruising Chris Moss, who did a super chat, along with JB, who did a super chat. So we are up to 60 because those super chats doubled. And cheers, everybody. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And we will try to go live, and I'm almost certain I will go live. I bought the premium Wi-Fi package in the Carnival Venezia, so I could go live with you on Tuesday next week on the Carnival Venezia. And let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we will be at sea. So I should be able to go no problem with you live. I'll try to arrange the schedule to make sure that I can go live with you at the normal time, which is 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Until then, everybody, again, seriously, thank you so much for all of your support all year long. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for liking, supporting the show, everything else like that. You all are amazing. I hope this is an amazing Christmas for each and every one of you. And we'll see you soon. All right, take care, everybody.